I beat the hardest challenge in anime adventures. Okay, so you might be confused on what I mean, and what I mean is basically, in these challenges, basically it was the hardest story, so Act 6 on Marineford, so it's the hardest, like, story that you can get, and most people consider Regen to be one of the harder ones. You could argue it's like, high cost or anything like it, but the point is that it's the hardest story mode with a twist, so it's one of the hardest challenges in the game. Now, obviously there are harder challenges, but in the game of the feature, the challenge, the game mode, this is basically the hardest challenge in anime adventures. But yeah, this strategy basically works for every challenge, not only the hardest one. As long as you have like a main DPS, so like Akainu, Broly, Levi, I guess, or if you're a bit worse, maybe Giorno. If you have a good early game, so like Dio, Giorno, Erwin. Erwin is something you want either way, so that's really good. And then a farm, obviously, Bulma or Speedwagon. I would recommend Speedwagon in story and challenges. And then some utility, like slow, like I used, Katakuri. If it's a hard one, if you need to, and you don't have like a good slow, you can have Todoroki or a time stop, though you do probably have Dio for that, or a pushback even like Pain. This is Pain, it's just shiny, or like Whitebeard. So yeah, you could also use Blackbeard for more like utility, like Erwin. But yeah. I started by just going into the challenge with these units basically. I had a slow, I had a DPS, and what I started by doing is deploying my farms. Using Speedwagon as farms on the beginning is actually really good, as the enemies, as long as you don't get really unlucky and get like really fast ones, which you can't, pretty sure, you can always farm at the beginning, so do that. Do that for a couple of rounds, because you will actually benefit a lot from having a lot of money early on, and you won't really need to defend at the beginning anyway. On wave 4 here, I stopped the auto skip so I can get more money and more like value of my units. So I deployed 2 Dios with the money I got from my farms really quickly. And after I had 2 Dios, which could defend everything, I upgraded more farms and it defended until the next wave. And I didn't auto skip, so it's quite easy for them to defend. After that, I could just literally get some more farming in, because since I'm not auto-skipping everything, they're coming very late and they're very easy to handle one by one. So my DS could easily handle all enemies, but after a while you do need to defend a bit more. But you can also focus a lot on farming as long as you have Dio, because Dio is really good for early game because of the damage and very good SPA. Yeah, you can just farm a bit more here, and then I try to like max my farms pretty early so I can get as much money as possible. But you do see that there are huge clumps of enemies, so after a while you do have to upgrade a Dio or so and deploy some Erwins. Erwins will be necessary basically. And after the skip, you can basically, since you have a good Dios, if you upgraded Erwin, you can actually max your farms on like wave 8, wave 9. But after that, you got to defend. I even skipped the wave so get the money fast, and then I could upgrade my Dios, not to this time stop upgrade, but to the damage ones. And then after I upgraded all my Dios, I even deployed my other Erwins. It helps with damage, and I'm going to upgrade them later on for the damage boost as well, so it's not a waste. After I got even more money from my farms, I started on my Giornos. You don't have to have Giorno, it's just extra damage. I had it because it's really cheap and quite a lot of damage for the cost, especially for a legendary. But I could probably use some other one, maybe Levi. Levi would have been a good damage dealer as well. But I chose Giorno for now because he's just good in story and he's a legendary. After that, I started on my Katakuri. It's really easy to kill the final boss with Katakuri because of the slow, and especially if you have the slow and Dio because of time stop and it's slow, the boss will not move, and the damage isn't even that bad. So, yeah, Katakuri can, like, do a lot of damage and slow the final boss, so getting a maxed, or not maxed, but to the slow upgrade on Katakuri is really worth it, in my opinion. That's at least what I did. I got into the slow, and then after I got him to the slow upgrade, I just started upgrading my Irwins, so I could have that boost ready, or the buff, the damage buff. So the 25% more damage for every single unit in the range, and that's why I'm placing everything near here. After that, I start on my main DPS. You could choose whatever main DPS you want. My best DPS right now is basically Akainu. Maybe Levi, I guess, but not good like AoE, so I'm using Akainu here. And basically, Akainu has like very good DPS without the big like AoE style. So what I'm going for here is just upgrading him before the big AoE, because with the big AoE he also gets really slow SPA. So I'm sticking with a bit less damage but good SPA and a bit less AoE as well. So, but yeah. After wave 15 hits, you won't get any more money, which is why Speedwagon is really good for this, because you can sell him, and with the money I had extra, I could actually afford more stuff. So what I did was to basically see what I needed, but after I thought about it, I wanted another Akainu, same upgrade, but just before the SPA change, so yeah, about 20,000 for that. So I spent 40,000 money on basically DPS, and you could probably get a maxed Levi almost for that, which would gain you a lot of DPS as well. But yeah, I just picked Akainu because I don't even have Levi evolved yet, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, after that it's just wait for everything, wait for the boss, wait for the enemies, since I placed everything at the back so I could have more money to play around. So that's why I'm basically just waiting it out, and I didn't place it at the front. Sure, at the front would have made it so if something does leak, I can actually replace it at the back, but having it at the back at the beginning makes me just able to get more money and more farms down quicker. So that's my strategy and my thought process. But basically, it's just really good to farm early on and get a good DPS unit at the beginning, so like Dio. Any mythics are kinda like expensive. You could like get Lelouch maybe, but yeah, a secret unit, not everyone has that. But yeah, as you can see here, my basically Irwins are damaging the boss, but there's some like really weird mechanics with regen. So basically, the 80,000 health is required for the actual the god mode thing to activate, but he regens, so it isn't necessary to do it like with the regen as well, as long as you deal 80,000 damage to him. So that's a bit like, it's a bit a cheese, because, well, it's not meant to be like that. So every like shield enemy, so like this boss or Kumo, basically, even with regen it isn't that much harder, but the final ones, they might be harder, because when it spawns, it has a lot of HP and does regen, just like now it regens, even though you don't have to get it to 0 health, but now you do need to get it to 0 health. So that's why it's just good to have a slow and a time stop, so Dio and Katakuri. Maybe even like Pain to push back, or All Might, or Whitebeard, then he will not be able to move. So you don't even have to have good DPS, as long as you have those slows, then this boss is really easy to kill. But yeah, I got pretty good stuff from this challenge as well. Things I do need, like a lot of legendary stars and a few epic stars, I guess. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one.